The racial profiling that's taking place is not about felony murder. There's a difference between when an officer decides to indiscriminately on his own or her own judgment pick somebody and say, I'm going to pat you down and frisk you for a weapon, because that's what stop and frisk is about.
How do you know that they're doing it because the person is black? How do you know that?
Could I finish? Here's the thing. You're mixing apples and oranges.
But Gloria, how do you know that in the car?
Racial profiling is about
when a cop is in a car
to choose a particular person.
How do you know that the cop is making a decision in his car? How do you know that, Gloria?
They pat this person down to see if this person has a weapon.
Gloria.
And this is based on the case of Terry versus Ohio.
Gloria, how do you know that they're making decisions?
In the 1960s, in which the U.S. Supreme Court.
I had to put this woman on hold. This is how black women act. This lady is trying to talk over everybody and being silly.
Woman?
Gloria.
Is your mother a black woman? You talk about black women like you don't have them in your own family.
Gloria, how do you know that the white cops are in their cars making decisions to stop a person because they're black? Where's your evidence of that?
The numbers...
Hold on a moment. Gloria Brown Marshall. She is an associate professor of John Jay College of Criminal Justice. She's also the founder of an organization, the Law and Policy Group. And Gloria, what's your website again?
www.lawandpolicygroup.org.
We're talking about racial profiling. When that idiot Henry Louis Gates did what and overreacted to Officer Crowley, and then Obama, in defending his idiot friend, brought up the idea of racial profiling. I said then, Gloria, that was going to encourage these angry blacks to disrespect authority even more so. And exactly what I said is happening. What I don't understand is why is it... Oh, let me go back to this question. How do you know, Gloria, that white officers are sitting in their cars and making a decision to stop someone simply because they're black? How do you know that?
Well, because when you look at the numbers, and that's the point that the guy, the caller was making before, the numbers do reveal a lot. And in New York, the police officers actually have to keep track of the numbers of people they stop and the race of those people. And so when you look at the fact that you stop 400,000 people, New York has millions of people, so 400,000 people, and 80% of those people are black. Those people aren't being arrested. Those people aren't being looked for a particular crime. That's the difference between stop and frisk and people who are actually looking for somebody who fits a description. We're talking about people who are in law enforcement who have the ability, because they have guns and uniforms and the control of the state, to actually stop a human being and say, I'm going to put you up against the car, against the wall or whatever, and frisk you for a weapon. So statistically, 80% of the people stopped should not be black, because we're not 80%, if you're looking at it from that number. And
you're 80% of committing the crimes, Gloria.
No, but it's not based on crime. That's why I'm saying look at the actual numbers. It's what I was saying to Guy the caller. If you have the numbers of people who commit the crimes and that data from criminal justice statistics, that's one thing. Stop and frisk and racial profiling doesn't work that way.
Let's go to Mike out of San Antonio, Texas. You're on with Gloria. Mike, good morning.
Hey, Jesse.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good, man.
Good. Jesse, I think we talked about this before. Unfortunately, your guest is a prime example of why you should keep your kids out of those social study programs. The great author Thomas Sowell mentioned it, and I think Lenin would coin the term youthful idiot. She's being used by the elite white establishment for that purpose. All she has to do is drive up any Martin Luther King Boulevard, and she'll know what you're talking about. They're all tore from the floor up. She knows this.
Gloria?
I mean, I don't know who this person is, but I'm sure he was raised better. My whole sense of it is,
that's why
I'm not looking at it from a standpoint of what is on Martin Luther King Boulevard. I understand there's a high number of black people who are in distress, criminal distress, they're in economic distress, they're in social distress, their families are breaking down. I understand this.
And why are they under all this stress?
Have other issues that are taking place as well.
Why are they under all this stress?
They're committing crimes.
Gloria?
And they're committing, but see, that goes back to, if you think that black people are inherently criminal just because they're black, then you're falling
no one
into
said
the same mindset that white people have, or certain white people have about black people. So if you're pulled over, instead of saying they pulled me over because, I'm black, you're saying they pulled me over because these other people who are black commit crimes, and they think I'm like them, but I'm not like them. And that's basically what your argument seems to be.
Well,
but all I'm saying is there's a history of looking at people who of African descent as being inherently criminal, and that history is hundreds of years old. That didn't start with Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Mike?
They're committing crimes. She know it. She doesn't live on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
You don't know where I live.
Do you
but
live
the thing
on Martin
about
Luther
it
King
is,
Boulevard?
here's what it comes down to.
You don't live on Martin Luther King, and when you drive up
where I
Martin Luther
live,
King,
there is
you roll
no
your
Martin
door
Luther
up
King
and lock
Boulevard.
your
There is a boulevard that's
door.
similar to what you're saying. I understand the boulevard you're talking about. I mean, that's what I'm...
So, Gloria, if you understand what Mike is talking about,
yes.
Instead of making up this stuff about racial profiling and trying to
that's not made up.
prove that white folks are... Hold on, Gloria. Hold on, Gloria. I have not asked the question.
Making something up.
Gloria.
Making up racial profiling. I go back to what...
Gloria.
I was saying that we...
Gloria, hold on, Gloria. I have to put on hold.
Oh, my God.
She doesn't be quiet. This is how black women act. They don't shut up.
They don't. She knows what we were saying is true. Jesse, I used to travel a lot, and unfortunately, I would just drive around. And every city I go to, it's the same phenomenon.
It's all everywhere.
It's everywhere. Every Martin Luther King is the same. As soon as you start seeing cash check places, little run-down barbecue joints, drug deals going down, that's MLK Boulevard. It's a shame to the man that died for this. He didn't die for that.
Gloria, why don't you guys deal with the real issues? What's wrong with black people that cost, not all but most, who are carrying out these crimes, who are doing these things? Why don't you deal with those issues?
Well, why can't you deal with the fact that both of these things are happening at the same time? That you have that destruction that's going on in the black
community.
Mike, thanks for letting me speak.
Gloria, I appreciate you coming on with me. I wish that you guys would wake up and stop blaming white officers and white folks on the lack of moral character in the black people.
I wish you didn't have such self-hate. That's a shame to hate yourself the way you do.
Gloria, I wish you stop blaming white folks for the lack of morality.
God be with you, and I hope you stop hating yourself.
All right. Thanks, Gloria.